Hey, amazing beings. Welcome to Free and Clear Fridays with moi, Dr. Sarah. All right, this is pretty funny because I actually said I was going to do the show at 3:15 today. Actually, it started with 3, then it changed to 3:15, and now it's 1:30. So welcome to my world of being in the space of whatever this requires to be given time. Now, this is not on time. This is actually early, and please judge me. No, wait. That's the topic of the week, judgment. So if I'm picking up on it, maybe I'm very in tune to that's what we're going to be talking about today. So welcome to the show. You may actually be seeing this in the future. You may be watching it now, wherever you're at. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And I wonder what we're going to create today together. Hi. Everyone's jumping on. Surprise, here we are. So, yes, being in the flow, that's a whole nother, space to be in all the time. To actually be open to being flexible, that there's no one really keeping track of things for you. And are you willing to be judged for it? That's what I love about this today, is that this is very apropos for the topic of the week, which, by the way, that's changing too in terms of how I'm going to be showing up to you a lot in the future. But that I will talk about that at another time, maybe later in the show. So anyway, let's go. Let's go into judgment. Judgment. I did a video this week about judging you. Or are you judging you? Everywhere you are judging you for whatever it is. For not being good enough, for being causing something bad to happen, like you said something and so you wrong yourself and you judge yourself for it, like why did I say that? That kind of judgment. Everywhere you think people are judging you. That's all a form of judgment on you. So everything that is, we're going to clear it now with the clearing statement, right? And that is right and wrong, good and bad, pon poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Whoo-wee, that had a charge to it. So that clearing statement, as you know, can be found on my website, Dr. Sarah Experience, and it comes from this amazing systematic tool, Access Consciousness, as you know. Yes. But you can find the link. I'm going to include it here in the comments so you can go and check it out and read about it. Okay? So we are aiming to clear anything that's heavy. Heavy thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are limiting you from being you. And judgment is a huge area that we carry around, that we are constantly using and abusing ourselves with. And you may learn that that's just how you're supposed to be. Now, a lot of times when you think you're judging someone else, you aren't. Now, you may or you may not, but the truth is, most of the time you probably aren't. You're picking up their judgment and you think you're judging it, or you're the one judging, when that's really someone else's point of view. So everywhere you're in someone else's point of view and you think you're judging when you're not, but then you wrong yourself anyways. Let's destroy and uncreate all that now, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pon poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. This topic of judgment has so many layers to it. It really does. It can come in different ways, but the one thing it all has in common, you ready? You ready for it? It's a lie. It's a lie. It's something heavy. There may be truths with lies attached, but it's always a lie because there's a limitation, okay? So everywhere there's a limitation, there's bound to be a judgment. And judgment doesn't exist outside of time. That's a little deep. It's true. So let's destroy and uncreate all of that and everything that's heavy about that. Right and wrong, good and bad, pon poc, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. So what are you noticing? What are you noticing now? What are you now judging that you need to hold on to figure out judgment? So everywhere you're judging what you're judging to see if you're judging, let's destroy and uncreate all that now, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, I just have to say it because it's popping, and I love this. And I mentioned this in the video that I did earlier, which was hilarious, about how I'm doing it at a different time on Free and Clear Fridays. Well, that's true, and it's not even that time. The time is here now. But is the filters. This is another filter from the Dr. Sarah Variety filters that you can find on my Instagram homepage, or the profile page, whatever we want to call it, under that little section that shows filters, the twinkles. I got it this time, twinkle, twinkle. So you can find those filters there. This is the 4th one. This is the one out of the 4. So go and use them. They're fun, they're free, they're whatever. Enjoy it. It's fun for me. I'm having fun with it. So judge me for my filter. I use filters. I love filters. How does it get any better? I love people that say, I'm doing no filter, and there's so much judgment to no filter or filter. Like, oh my God, what if it's just a choice? Which brings up a whole point. The way to clear judgment, or after clearing judgment, is get to choice. Choice will allow you to choose something else other than judgment, but it will also give you a way to be free of judgment. If you know you have choice, something that comes heavy, and then you're like, oh, this is heavy, and you're stuck in it, and you go, what did I do wrong? Now we're in the judgment. So first of all, let's clear that. Right, wrong, good, bad, POD POC, all 9 shorts, boys, beyonds. But what if you were to instead be like, whoo, this is heavy, this, whatever this is, and clear it and be like, now what can I choose? So what if choice is really one of the antidotes to clearing judgment, to be free of judgment, to give yourself other possibilities from which then you can choose by choice to create something different? What can I choose in this moment that will allow me to be free of this negativity, of this heaviness? Because that's where judgment thrives. So everywhere you're not willing to ask that question, everywhere you're in a space where I can't do it, I don't want to do it, what's wrong with me with it, all the judgment, destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. So it's really important, okay? Really, really important to be aware of what you're telling yourself, of what these thoughts are. Whose thoughts are these? Like, who does this belong to? And then you return to center with consciousness. You can use that one. So return to center with consciousness, and POD and POC everywhere this is heavy. So that's ways to get free and clear of judgment. Now, let's tune in, as we do every week, to that 1 area, 2 areas, 3 areas, how many areas, it doesn't matter, that you've been in limitation this week. Heaviness, feelings, sadness, anxiety, overwhelm, maybe emotions around some kind of situation. You get the point. So tune in to what that is for you. Let's tune in. Let's get that energy. So everything that is, let's destroy and uncreate it all now, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And thank you for everyone joining. I know this is not the usual time. It's not even the time I said it would be, and I love repeating this because it's hilarious. But I'm willing to be judged for it, which brings up, and we'll circle back around to everywhere something's been heavy for you. But really, we're going to go right now to when you're willing and open to being judged, you will receive more. More of what? Well, one thing, money. A lot of times when we're not willing to be the receiver of judgment from others, we cut ourselves off from receiving, and that includes money. Money is energy. So when we're not open to receiving, our money flow can actually be limited. And if we're not open to receiving judgment in particular, that's where it can stop. So what would it take for you to allow yourself to receive judgment? Doesn't mean believe it, you receive it and you thank someone for their judgment. Wow, that's an interesting point of view. Thank you for that judgment. Now, it doesn't mean you say it. You can say that here to yourself. or just be in the awareness, because a lot of times when people are judging you, more money is going to be flowing because you're open to receiving it, and they're going to be putting that out there to the universe, and you're likely to receive more. And when we're in the receiving, we can receive more of what's light for us. Money follows joy. When you're in the joy and open to receiving, it's fantastic. So anything that will allow you to receive judgment with total ease from others, and just thank them for their interesting point of view, or hashtag, like I like to say, thank you for your J, which means judgment. Then you can be free of whatever that is. So anything that will allow that, right, wrong, good, bad, pop, puck, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what would it take? What would it take to change this? Question. You ask the question. You come on things like this and we clear it. So anywhere and everywhere you haven't been willing to be in the question of, what the heck is this judgment? What is this? And then be like, oh, whatever's heavy about it, right, wrong, good, bad, pop, puck, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So I'm encouraging you, it's totally a choice, to play with these tools outside of here, to use them if you choose. They're available. And you can come on here once a week and receive it. How's it getting better than that? So if we look at, again, this judgment, do you notice the charge around it isn't as heavy? When we get the limitation, it's just like, oh, wow, it's just someone's interesting point of view. And you can even give yourself an interesting point of view of you. Like, wow, interesting point of view, my point of view of judging myself for this. Like, wow, that's really interesting. So what would it take to clear it? Pan Pak, because that's the short version of the clearing tool. You can use Pan Pak outside of here. Pan Pak, Pan Pak, Pan Pak. I love using it that way too. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. You know, we want things convenient a lot of times. Or you can say the long version of it. Doesn't matter. It's just a tool. It's a tool that you can use. So what are you noticing now? What are you noticing now about judgment? Where do you resist judgment? Where do you go into having to be upset about judgment? So all the upset, like, oh my God, I can't believe that person did that. I can't believe they judged me. Or you want to respond through a defense, like defending yourself or having to prove yourself based on someone's judgment. That is, wow. As I say it, can you tell how heavy that is? And how much of the time we probably do that? And where we've grown up to be almost encouraged to have to fight against what's coming at us. What if you no longer have to fight against? What if you can just acknowledge-ize? It's a great word, which I received from some amazing beings today. That word comes, it's a funny word to play with. Acknowledge-ize. You acknowledge what's going on. You get to, wow, okay, I see this person judging me. I'm aware of the fight that's there. What would I like to create instead? What can I do to change this? What would work here for me? Those are the questions to start asking, rather than, I can't believe you said that about me. What? Like, you are a complete, I'll just say it, this is what we tend to do. You're a complete asshole. Rather than, interesting that you are choosing to see me that way. I still may use the word asshole because that may actually be appropriate. It may just be an acknowledgement of the energy that someone's being. But do you notice the difference? And there's nowhere for that to go. Because when someone doesn't sense your resistance to whatever they're judging you for, they're going to go find someone else to pick on. They're going to find someone else to judge because they're not getting the reaction they want from you. I can't tell you how many times that I have been judged. You know, it's fun. Thank you for your judgments. Where I actually could have gone into it with the person. I can share like social media things where people respond because, you know, people love to judge your pictures, your videos. Who knows? You know, people have nothing better to do that in their lives than to judge others. It's really insane, isn't it? Well, they're called humans. And the ones that aren't human, they're desperately seeking human because they love to be human trauma queens, we know. Oh my gosh, this is funny. Someone's asking me, are you wearing socks? Is that a judgment? No, I'm just kidding. That's hilariously funny. I am not wearing socks. I am barefoot. not answer the question because I'm in the flow of being, and I think it's funny. And if you are judging me, thank you for your judgment of whether or not I'm wearing socks. I think it's hilarious. Anyway, and I am not showing you my feet. That's really a nice request. This is funny because these comments will not be shown on IGTV. So yes, someone actually asked, let me see how wrinkly them feet is. Isn't that, that may be a translation concern of, and it's funny because the guy won't stop. And it looks like a man, but that's okay. How's it getting any better than that? So I wonder, this just segued from actually talking about being judged from past by others to in the moment. But anyway, so when we are willing to be in the question and be in the space of like, wow, thank you for your judgment, I respond a lot of times to people like, oh, interesting point of view. I see what you're saying to me. Okay, cool. I'm not saying this out loud, but I'll actually say thank you for your interesting point of view. And then be like, I'm grateful for whatever you're sharing, or thank you for the acknowledgement. And then a lot of times people won't respond back at all, or they'll respond back like, ha ha ha, you know, I was just blah, 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 you know, like making light of it or whatever. I'm just paraphrasing what it goes. But the truth is, there is a space around it where there is an ease. It goes nowhere. The density of what's being thrown at you goes away if you're willing to see it clearly and know it's never about you. It's never about you. It's usually someone else's judgment. And this is so hilariously funny because this guy is still making a comment, which is so perfect for the topic. He indicates, and thank you for sharing it because it really brings in like this interesting energy of being in a limitation, which may have a judgment to it or not, but you decide. So this is his comment. I have a foot fetish for women. Feet, I want to see how them feet look. So everything that is, let's destroy and uncreate it all. Everywhere this is bringing up energy for other people, right? Right and wrong, good and bad, pon poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Interesting point of view that this individual is asking me to see my feet. Interesting point of view that he has a foot fetish. How does it get any better than that? But you notice what I'm being in the moment of this is, number one, humor. Number two, interesting point of view. It's very curious. I get a read on the energy of it, so I call out the judgment just in case. Sometimes, this is a great point to judgment, is judgment can come in as a positive judgment. So do you ever notice when someone says something to you and you're like, maybe this is it right here. It's almost like a positive judgment in a weird way. That they're like, oh, you are just so... you're so great, you're so like smart, or you're so beautiful, or you're so sexy. But it's not in a way that's like, oh, wow, thank you for the compliment. It's more like, thank you for your judgment, because it has a real heaviness to it. Like you're being seen a certain way, and it has a point of view to it that just reads heavy because there's some energy beneath it that has like a weird vibe to it. So everything that is, and where you haven't acknowledged where positive judgment has been done, let's destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pon poc, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, so here we go again. Yes, because obviously he's not getting the message, and now it's turning into something even more. And he says, I think you have cute feet, and your bare feet, I think, should share them. Interesting point of view. Thank you for your ongoing judgment. Right? This is hilariously funny. So everything that is, right, wrong, good, bad, pop, pop, all nine shorts, boys, fans. Maybe he doesn't have his sound on. I wonder. Any awarenesses? Feel free to share them in the comments. But the one thing I'm not doing is showing my feet, because that's hilariously wrong. No, thank you very much. And this is where someone then, is pushing energy, pushes their point of view. This is a perfect example of it. And it's really interesting, no matter how much you speak to it, and you actually call it out, and it's still going on. Welcome to the world of human. And that's why I love this space, where it's live and in person. I haven't had a free and clear Friday like this before. Now I should almost call it feet and clear Fridays. I wonder, that could be actually entertaining. For all the fetish people out there for feet and free, feet and clear Fridays with Dr. Sarah. They would think I'm a podiatrist probably. But anyway, enough with the jokes. Clearing the energy. So let's revisit real quick. And this Clear and Free Friday is going to go a little past the usual 20 minutes, which is great. So everywhere and anywhere and everything that this is all brought up, let's destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, pon poc, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. But what's really great about this, let me say one more thing. Have you had those people in your life that just keep pushing and pushing and pushing? Like no matter what you say to them or call it out, and no matter how many times you acknowledge like, hey, that was a little intense. They're just right there doing it over and over again. Welcome to that world of humans, this reality. Oh my God, how did we get to be so lucky to have persistent energy pushers? I don't know. But so let's destroy and uncreate all that now, please. Right, wrong, good and bad, pon poc, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So I want to thank you to, I think it's TJ Miller 222 for the foot fetish, I guess content to perfect timing for Judgment Day of Free and Clear Fridays. It's not Judgment Day, it's actually the topic of the day being judgment. So anyway, I appreciate you all so very much. Real quick shout out to this podcast I have going on, the Dr. Sarah Experience podcast, where I have influencers, mover and shakers and trendsetters coming on and talking about their creations and their inspirations, and you get to know them a little bit on a deeper level than just their social media or their amazing art and music and acting and whatever they're doing. You get to know them greater, and then you get a dose of me adding a little consciousness to it in a way that I do to make it a really cool podcast show. So you can catch that on Wednesdays, and they're there. All the episodes are located at the same location too. The ones in the past, the ones in the future will be there too. But it's on my website. I will connect you there where you can hear the audio and you can see the video on YouTube. And yes, you can catch it there. I actually have it's in the link of my bio. That's what I'm trying to say here for the show. So you can get the link tree over there and follow it. I may add it to this comments too on the IGTV. And Merlin, woohoo, hi Merlin. Oh, thank you for acknowledging the judgment. Woohoo, how's it getting better? Perfect timing. Podcast time. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that. I would love for you to see it, for everyone to see it. And I'm so grateful to each of you and have way too much fun. Go and be clear. And you know that I always have your back. And we will connect here next week. It should be back to the usual time, the 4:00 time, Eastern Standard Time, Free and Clear Fridays, where we take problems and turn them into possibilities. I'm so grateful to each of you. And please just go and be who you be and allow yourself to be free of the judgment. And if it does come in, pon poc, thank you for your judgment. All right, amazing beings. I will see you next week. Take care for now.